Are we up?
Yeah, audio and video. We're not on with that.
Oh, okay. Kevin?
Yeah. Check, check, check.
So they know who the hell they're talking to.
Yeah? Yeah.
Okay.
Check 1, 2. This is Kevin. This is Kevin and I'm in the chairs. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check, check. Got it, Glenn? Yeah. Okay.
Pick a chair, any chair.
I think this will be late, but we'll let him decide.
Go. Now what we got, so you can hear, if you have a separate conversation, this earpiece. And we're going to try to protect your ears as much as possible. On that sometimes it's tough. You know, place that where it feels comfortable for you.
Go ahead and move it, Glenn. No, speak it later. Sometimes it's only taking 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Kevin's on that too, so you won't be able to control your volume, so when you listen to me, you're gonna want to pull your ears.
Mr. Warren, who said that? Is that how you want me to concentrate?
No, you're actually gonna need to listen to the IP line.
Then how am I gonna get that from here?
It's up there on top of the camera.
Oh, cool. No, I don't know. Promises. And real quick, would you like me to get you anything to drink? Soda, bottled water, or anything like that?
If you have any, just plain water,
Yeah, we got deep rock.
rather than that soda water would be great.
Okay. You want your cup? We got those large cups in the drawer. By the way, Mr. Grace, I'm Kevin Sanchez. We're running the camera here and helping me out.
But I just said we got 6 minutes, that's fine.
Oh yeah, but you may have quick and go with this guy. The first guy we're doing is a guy named Mike out of Baltimore. One thing is, since we're doing these interviews, we want to act like we're in Baltimore. Baltimore, I hate that town. I love that town. I had some great matches in Baltimore. That's what we have.
One that I've been involved in winning the world's title in Baltimore twice.
So we'll try it. You always know what city you're talking to, and who you're talking to. So it's always nice to customize and personalize that. You're talking to Baltimore and talking about to Mike. And Will, I just talked to Mike in Baltimore. And probably want to give them an audio level.
Yeah, just the first they were getting.
It's like my most flattered position sitting down, guy.
Hey, we want to do it, but I didn't know if we want to stay in for 2 hours.
Debbie, how's it look? How does the Darby look? Sitting down. Mike, how's the belly look sitting down?
Straight on, you're gonna look fine.
I just take breakfast usually. I'm real slim and trim.
Straight on shot, you look fine. Yeah.
I think it's.
That'd be nice to be able to see how the shot. Because that way they'll know who you. Because he's gonna be doing a wide shot, but he will like if you're demanding attention on the camera, he's gonna zoom in.
That'd be nice if we could have
He's
one.
gonna be zooming in, yeah. Because typically these guys like pretty close shots.
Can we get a monitor, sir?
Yeah.
That would really help the interview.
Actually, Glenn's in there, that's right behind you.
Without it, we're kind of dead in the water, really.
You used to be around lots of where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just.
I'll see if I can do this real quick.
Yeah.
Glenn, is there any way I can?
Look at that, I can't do my Vader no more.
Three.
That's three, that's three back.
Remember the numb? Remember the whole numb? I can't control it anymore.
Yeah, the shots here, and you guys are totally you're bigger than life.
They get in my G-box?
Just remember, Mike is that camera lens.
We're right in here. Yeah, that's the most key thing. Is talking to that. Of course, all the pointing.
That's done. Now we're gonna watch through the avid monitors, or?
Just so we can see ourselves, yeah, that would be.
Flip earpiece over here.
Go ahead, bro.
Kevin's zeroing in on that one.
Oh, you know that may have been the barrel I stole.
Well, that
It's
was
routed
zero.
properly. What did you say, Mike? I'm sorry, I just put that in.
Only reason so that when you do the zoom on whoever's demanding attention to the camera, they can see who you're zooming on.
Right.
They can tell a lot better that way.
Right.
And that's why we do all our interviews, you can see the side of the box, it really helps them out.
You gotta put that leather back over my ear, guy. Good, sir.
Is that comfortable for you?
Yeah, so good.
Is there any way for them, for you to assess it, we gotta do that with them? Okay, maybe we'll get on then early.
Yeah.
If we could get on as early as possible with them, that'd be great.
Alrighty.
Just to talk to them
I
and,
just wanna get that monitor up. So
hello, how are you?
That's good.
I'll confirm the route.
You got one.
Need yourself. Just double check.
Still might be up there, all right, cool. Way over on the right there?
You want to come out to it?
Look around me a sharp piece of wood you can. See that from there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
turn just a little. Great. Right view.
Careful.
I am.
You go fight Kevin. Oh my God.
Gavin, we got it.
Debbie, you see that shot he was doing there just a minute ago? The other night at center stage he was doing that and he came straight out with the very first one and hit me right in the nose.
Jesus Christ, I don't.
Show you what the night shot is.
How's that?
Up just a little bit.
Well, that'd be a great shot right there for me.
Alright, I can even go tighter if you want.
No, actually a little, but just keep off the belly when you're on me.
You bet.
Right about there.
How much moving around do you guys have?
Not much when we're sitting down.
Alright, great.
Now, what are you gonna go when you go to a double there?
About like that.
That, you look fine there, Leon.
Think
You
so?
got- Yeah, you got that.
Probably never ever be wider than that.
See, you got that, one strap level now. One on this side, see where I'm move my arm?
Yeah.
Be this side, I guess it would be. No, opposite side. You need to pull that up a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
How big? Touch this. I put my hand back by yours. Watch this. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's all right. I think I popped the plug up there, guy. On my ear. Yeah. I think I jerked it loose. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Well, I don't like this thing down shit.
You like it when you get started with it. See, when you talk, you got a tendency to do this anyway. Bring your chest up instead of out. See?
Right about there on me. Yeah. Steve, you can stay off the.
Gotcha, yeah.
Can you go to a higher double shot? Little higher?
A little higher, yeah?
Yeah, right about there.
Okay,
Can you do that?
just kind of looks awkward.
Well,
Can we scoot you guys closer together?
yeah, we could try. Nope, that's it.
Okay. I was gonna say, tilt the back of the chairs closer, that way your legs are from the back.
Mine just came loose.
Stand up a little bit harder.
Now, 7522.
You can just go ahead and press that in and
Try that double shot again. Let's,
do that.
410. Yeah. 578. 7522.
Harley, lean in toward me.
I gotta get this in my ear first.
Well, just for the shot real quick.
Would you like to have it like that?
What do you think? All right? I like it better.
Alright, I'll try
Because that's just awkward to sit there. This way, it emphasizes the arm size and
Okay.
the shoulders, you know?
Guys, it's that line. I'm on the phone.
You're on the phone? Oh, that's why I'm getting busy.
Yeah, that's, please, don't go any lower now, all right?
You know what, though? It's not really like that.
But it looks bad to me. I'm looking at it.
Alright, I'll try to stay there.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine, right, Harley? This emphasizes my size and emphasizes the positive, takes away the negative. Right there. That's perfect.
Yeah, I wish we would in the studio. We'd have $40 more to go, but it's just broken to get a towel that's like, yeah, that's my board.
Is this ear thing right now?
You know, if you hook it up and over your ear, you just stay better.
I try to go up and over it, it comes out.
Actually, I'll just place it for you and there you go. Got it.
Okay, Mike, can you talk?
Yeah, Mike. Testing. How's our levels? Okay? Harley's putting his earplug in. I don't know if he's hearing you yet. Can you hear me, Mike? Can you hear me now? Okay, he said he can barely hear me.
Barely hear you?
Barely.
How are you hearing me, Mike?
Ask him if he's tuned to the satellite.
Are you tuned to the satellite? Mike, are you tuned to the You can barely hear us, guys.
Mike, are you tuned to the satellite? Yeah, that's where you have to hear him. This thing only goes one way. No. This is gonna have to be. How about if I place the phone in front of me?
You know, you guys want to stand up. I'll raise the camera. That way you guys want to raise the camera.
So if you keep this shot, this is all right here. Do you agree? Harley? Harley?
Yeah.
Mike?
This shot is good, don't you think so?
The mic kind of close to the front of him. So it's going to be soft, okay?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait a minute.
I'm hearing you fine, Mike. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us? You barely hear us again.
Yeah, it's going to be soft.
No, they... Can you hear us now? I didn't hear nothing. Go ahead again, Mike. Oh, okay, are we shooting this now? Michael, can we do a little pre stuff? Or you got background on me and background? Oh, you do have all that. You've got the football and you've got all the world titles and the 3 records. Okay.
Well, and in essence, it hasn't done anything to us except lift our spirits. We knew exactly what we were planned the minute they told us it was canceled. Vader told everybody and told the world that this wasn't going to happen, and as you can see, when you humiliate someone far enough that they got to go with it, you know, you just can't back away. I've known Flair for 20 years, and he cannot back away. He cannot be put down as a coward.
Hey, Michael, listen to this. This is the bottom line on this. Flair received the Christmas Miracle in Charlotte, North Carolina, Starrcade, December 27th. And let's face it, those of you that tuned in, those of you who watched the fight, you saw one hell of a fight, first of all. But I nearly beat the man to death. He walked out proud, like he said, styling and profiling down that aisle, but he crawled back like the boy that he is. He had two of his front teeth were completely knocked out. His jaw was broken. His nose was broken, and he was totally humiliated. Yes, the miracle did happen, but the season for miracles is over. It's time to get back down to reality, and he's got to stand toe-to-toe with me, the man. 6'5", 452 pounds. And I don't think he can do it, let's face it. And yeah, we did bait the trap. We told the man he was not going to get away with this. We met at Clash. By the grace of God, the WCW gave me an opportunity to step in the ring with Ric Flair and Sting with Rick Rude as my partner. And Harley Race and myself got the job done. We put the man out like we said we were going to do. He again walked off, crawled off, back to his locker room like the boy that he is. And then the next thing we hear about, we're in the locker room after the match, and there's a press conference going on saying that the Super Brawl has been postponed. Well, I got in his face, I got in his wife's face, I got in his friend's face, and I got in WW's face. and I asked them all, was this justice? Now, if Vader was hurt, you think the match would have been postponed? No, I don't think so. Flair has had his way with the WCW. Flair has had his way with wrestling long enough. We told him, Vader and Mr. Race, we wait for no man. I told him his friends wasn't safe, his family wasn't safe. And it took me nearly to beat his, supposedly his best and greatest friend, Ricky Steamboat, half to death in the ring before he could stand up and be accounted for. Mr. Flair needs to look himself in the mirror and ask himself, what is it that he's trying to accomplish here? At Starrcade, he paraded his family around, his little boy and his little girl and his pretty little bride around. I mean, it was disgusting. He was trying to gain sympathy of the public. I don't know what he was trying to do. But tell you what, he can bring his pretty little bride and his pretty little boy and that little baby girl and his mama and his papa and all his friends. Because this time there's a steel cage and there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide, Mike.
Well, that's all depending, again, on Flair's attitude and again, his physical being at that point in time. This man is going into the ring for one thing only. That is to correct a wrong that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a fluke to start with, and Vader is going in there for his revenge. He's going in not only to win that world's title, but to prove to everyone on earth that he is the man, not Ric Flair. Ric Flair, don't get me wrong, has been a great wrestler throughout the time he's been wrestling, close to 20 years. This man right here has accomplished more in the 8 years that he has been in professional wrestling than myself or Flair did in the 20 plus that we've been. I'm telling you, you're looking at the man. Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure being with you.
Thank you, Mike. That's it. That's it?
No, that's the one.
I'm saying, but that's all. There was no... That was 10 minutes?
Yeah, I want to see him do that.
Mike Weber. Doing it when it gets done. Michael, did you like that?
Yeah, everything was pretty good. That camera questions.
I want to feel good.
Yeah, when Vader was doing that straight pop, that's when they get close forward, because so we get a little more, of course, now when I was talking about it, the point of Vader was wide. So I want a little more movement. I would take up 22 and make it just a half notch.
Okay.
Not to the extent that we do ours. Yeah. That was a little bit. And that's not this one. Next guy we're talking to
That was acceptable though? There's no redos on these, what you're saying, I'm telling you, so.
pretty much.
No, okay.
This guy here I worked with.
That was acceptable?
Yeah.
Mike seems a little unmotivated. He's just, well, okay guys, bye, thanks. I mean, not good luck with soup, nothing, man.
Yeah, some of the sports guys are like that. Some guys are so full of energy.
You'd rather have a guy like this than a wisecracker.
You're gonna have a guy like this.
If he is,
I'll tell you. Rudy is
if he is, don't blow your cool at me.
This guy, I just think it's a little bit.
I don't take it up.
I like the camera. Yeah, one more camera movement, and I get right in the face.
Yeah, and I'm really on this top doing
The height of the wide shot is great, but you got it up low, that's great. This is a good wide shot.
As soon as you start talking, you're probably going to go with
I want more tight because the only bad thing about this is that we have so much, this is great. But we have so much headroom, it makes it look like you're in 5'10".
That's perfect right there. It's not, you know, I should be below him.
Oh, you should. I think all that stuff.
Bill, got the chair 6 inches in front of him. I ought to be big.
I'm crouched down in this one, actually.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
They've got it sitting right here beside us.
Mike, if you could talk to him, if that was just, I mean, well, but
I did talk.
well, if you talk to me before you say, look, if, whether it's me or Harley gets one, I'll take one, you know, but we ought to have to say, guys, we got 45 seconds left, sum it up for me, you know, so we can do something like that, and leave it, not leave, okay, guys, thanks, I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, and I got a hand on Harley, so I'll either say go or I'll take it.
I think. Yeah, but I think they want this, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit different context than I regularly told.
Well, yeah, but still, we can still take it in 30 seconds and sum it up. You know, we're out to win the little tieback, prove that it was a fluke, and yeah, we can cut a little bit of it, you know, not, you know, the Christmas holidays are over. It's time to get down to reality, and Super Bowl will be Vader's revenge. Tune in, you'll have that show. Huh? No, go ahead. Steve, why don't you wait till we're done and we'll stand up. Everybody. Rudy. Yeah, Rudy, can you hear us? This is Vader. Yeah, I can hear you. Put the phone here like it's nice thing.
Are you hearing us? Are you hearing us now, Rudy?
Okay, I'm gonna set you in front of him. Here you go.
Yeah, we're hearing him fine. Are you hearing us?
Yeah, hey Rudy, you got a bio on what's it include? What's it include, the bio? Yeah, on Vader. Yes, sir. This is Vader. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, do you know anything about my football background? If we run out of things to say, or okay. Well, do you want me to tell you in the interview, tell you now beforehand?
We're ready.
Okay, someone's got to give us a start. Are we going now?
Are you rolling tape, Rudy?
Okay, Rudy, why don't we start now? All right. Rudy from Nashville, how are you? Vader coming at you live and in color. Many times. Quite a town. Rock and roll. Put a dime in a jukebox.
Well, let me tell you something a little bit about Ric Flair. Ric Flair has been around a long time. He's a cagey guy. But when he walked down that aisle, he had a purpose in mind. He paraded his family. He paraded everything that he had to flaunt, which is the way Ric Flair has been for 20 plus years that I've known him. But it was a fluke, an absolute fluke. And Thunder Cage will be Vader's revenge.
Yeah, well, Rudy, just to elaborate on that just a little bit, Flair likes to talk about being the man, and he's been the man for a long time. 11 world titles in 20 plus years of professional wrestling. You gotta call it like you see it. If you see a bear over in the woods, you got to say, hey, there's a bear over in the woods. Now the man's been the bear, right? He's been the man. But it's time to take a step back and look at the new man. You're looking at the future. You're looking at the 90s. 6'5", 452 pounds of the man, Vader. Now, in 8 years of professional wrestling, now we just mentioned the fact the man has accomplished 11 world titles in 20 plus years of wrestling. In 8 years of wrestling, Vader has 12 world titles on 4 different continents. And in 1990, I held 3 world titles on 3 different continents simultaneously. Now that's in 8 years of professional wrestling. No one before me and no one after me will ever accomplish that. Now, well, you know what? It wasn't a matter of choice on his part, because after myself and Mr. Race took care of him at the Clash, we nearly beat the man half to death. He crawled out of the ring and down that aisle like the boy that he is. Okay? And the next thing we heard, there was this press conference going on, which we were not invited to. Now, I'm the world champion, and why wasn't I invited to a press conference where it has something to pertain with one of my upcoming title defenses? Now, as Ric Flair has done in the past for so many years, he has manipulated the WCW. And let's face it, he's had his own way. Well, that time has come to an end, because Mr. Race and myself put an end to that. But no, I don't need to hate somebody to wrestle him. But I do not like this man. I do not like the way he handles his business. I do not like the way he conducts himself as a man. For example, it took me nearly beating Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon, nearly half to death before he'd stand up and be accounted for. After he told the world he was backing out of the fight at Super Brawl. Well, I told him Vader waits for no man. It's that simple. I said, you are not safe. Your family's not safe. And Dragon, you're not safe. Your friends are not safe. Well, when we nearly beat his buddy up in the ring, well, finally, that's what it took for him to get up and stand up like the man he should be and be accounted for. And then he begged in his emotional tone with a tearful eye and said, please let me back in the ring. You know what? He's disgusting. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed punk. I used to steal lunch money from punks like him in high school. And when I get done kicking his butt at Super Brawl, the whole world gonna know just who the man is. Rudy, I don't like the man. If that's what's coming up, that's the deal. I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. That's right. And I'm not only going to get my world title back, I'm going to hurt him. Well, football's not the game anymore, but yeah, we used to play that game very well. I was a two-time All-American, right? Up at the University of Colorado in the first-round draft pick to the Los Angeles Rams. Played in the Super Bowl and ended my career with the Los Angeles Rams. Well, it doesn't compare. You know, football is a sport in and of itself. It's a team sport. In the ring, I walk in the ring, I depend on no man. You're looking at the team. You're looking at the head coach. You're looking at the trainer right here. I don't have 10 other people to depend on. Well, I don't know what, you know, first of all, I don't fight to please anybody, and I certainly don't go out there trying to make people dislike me, nor do I try to make people like me. I'm me. You know, take a look in the mirror, and that's the man you see. Take a look at me through your television screen. Come see me in person. That's the man you see. If you like him, well, applaud. If you dislike me, do what you want. I don't give a damn, quite frankly. I don't fight to please no one. I fight to win. I fight to survive. You know what? And that's one thing that makes me sick about people like Ric Flair. They walk out smiling and styling and profiling and waving and kissing little babies. And it's all just a bunch of bull, and we know it. Because we've seen that other side of Flair, haven't we? Well, you know, we certainly draw attention wherever we go, and that's why we're talking to you right now. In the Super Brawl, Mr. Race and myself have a game plan for the X-Man, Ric Flair. And Mr. Race, why don't you close us up and tell them exactly how we're going to handle this guy?
Well, let me have a word here for a second, Rudy. No one on the face of the earth knows Ric Flair better than Harley Race.
That's right.
And everything that I know about him, whether it be good or bad, Vader is going to know before Thunder Cage. And like he said, he's only been in professional wrestling for 8 years. And he has become the most talented wrestler on the face of God's green earth. He has been world's champion with the WCW 3 different times already. And when we walk out of Thunder Cage, Ric Flair will know for dead certain who the man is, and the man will be carrying the gold, and that man is sitting right beside me.
Hey, Rudy, one thing, you know, Flair ain't the man. He's just a man that knows the man. And when it's all over in Albany, Georgia at Super Brawl, Vader's going to be looking down at Ric Flair, and he's going to be bruised and bloody. And I'm going to ask him, Flair, who's the man? Flair, who's the man? And that's when it'll be enough. When he answers out of his own lips, out of his own words, Vader, you're the man. And that's the only time Vader will be satisfied.
Thank you, Rudy, and it's a pleasure being on with you.
Rudy, thanks a lot, and Nashville, tune in. Put a dime in the jukebox, and we're gonna rock and roll, brother. Yeah. Mike, I didn't even know if we were on the air. I thought we were just talking there for a while.
Yeah,
Mike.
You know, the only people that talk to like weekend, so honestly, it was always responsible. Hard to go to the next one. You want to do the interview now? Don't just get you want to direct from that thing, or I can't talk to the guy. The link, so you can hear it.
Yeah, we just need to.
Yeah, so you just say, okay, the next one we're doing is live.
All right, I'll start this off and say, Rod, are you ready to talk? Are you ready to talk to the man?
Excuse me. You can try to control it.
Can hear you a little bit, Rod, not too well, this Harley race. We're hearing you just a very little bit, Rod.
No, I can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me better now? All right, Vader, talk, see if he can hear
Yeah,
you.
he can hear us, but I don't. Yeah, it'd have to be
Yes.
loud, Rod. Yes, sir. Rock and roll, baby. Okay, he said turn it on. You gotta be quiet, close the door because we can barely hear him. Oh no, we got a Ric Flair fan. Talking the garbage. Hey, listen, man. Hey, Rod, how's the weather out in San Diego, first of all? Well, good. I'm glad it is. I hope it rains all over you. Hey, you know what? Ric Flair, blonde-haired, blue-eyed punk. I used to steal lunch money from punks like him in high school. He ought to take a real long, hard look in the mirror. He parades his family around in front of the world to see. He's got his teary-eyed, emotional speeches. He's a punk. And if you like him, you're a punk. Yeah, we'll go back because you know what? Hey, December 5th, Rod, what was it? It was a season for miracles. World championships are won and lost because I know I've had 12 of them in 8 years of professional wrestling. I've held 3 world titles on 3 different continents, something no other man has done. I've held world titles on 4 continents, something that no other man has done. What's all the hoopla about Ric Flair's 11th world title when I've had 12 on 4 different continents in 8 years? What's all the hoopla? Hey, because world titles are won and lost. That is a given fact. And it was a season for miracles. That was a given fact. And the fact is the man received a miracle December 27th in Starrcade. But reality is now, it's time to get back to reality. And when I get done kicking his butt in Super Bowl, I'm going to give you a call and we can have this same conversation, okay? Hey, Rex, sir, he walked down the aisle, styling, profiling, talking his bull like he does, and he crawled back. Did you see his face? I nearly beat the man half to death, Rod. You know it, and I know it. Oh, yeah, well, that's the only thing he's got. He's also got 2 false teeth because I knocked him out. Yeah.
He may have the belt, and you may have a lot of gift of conversation. Well, for a lot of years, I wore a lot of belts, and I had a fairly good gift of conversation. The conversation ends in Thunder Cage. Thunder Cage is Vader's revenge. 2 men walk in and 1 man walks out, and we help construct the cage. So we know he's going to be there till the big man's done doing what he wants to do, and he'll walk out with the gold.
Hey, whoa, Rod.
Hey, back up, guy.
That's 8-time world champion Harley race. That dog bites real hard. All right. Yeah.
Whether he wins or loses this time around, buddy, he doesn't have to sit every day like you do on a television or a radio show or whatever you're on. Whether he wins or loses this time, he'll have enough money to go back to the University of Colorado and buy it.
Hey, Rod, you know what? I like this conversation. I like your attitude. But, you know, the facts are facts. I'm 6'5", I'm 452 pounds. I've put more men out of wrestling than any other man alive. I have more world titles than any other wrestler, alive or dead, past or present, or in the future. And I've done it in 8 years. In 20 plus years, the man has achieved only 11 world titles. And I don't want to belittle that because that's a great accomplishment. But it took him 20 plus years. In 8 years of professional wrestling, 12 world titles, count them, on 8 continents. It's a given fact, I've said it before. World titles are won and lost. And he will lose his title one day. And it's coming up real soon. Super Brawl, Albany, Georgia, February 20th. It's time for the man to stand up and get counted for. You know what? Ric Flair's not the man. He's just a man that knows the man. Let's put it that way. Rock and roll. San Diego, Rod. Thanks, Rod. Good job.
Thank you.
He was good.
you hear us, Greg?
Hey, we don't want to hit that very hard, okay? The foot. Yeah, we don't need to do that. With the rock and roll, Greg. I'm the man. I'm doing great. Well, we're going to do that, but Greg, before I comment on that, I got to tell everybody out in Los Angeles, you know, I was born and raised in L.A., Bell, California, inner city, Los Angeles, and this is like a homecoming for me, and I'm glad to be on the tube with you, buddy. All right. No, but they're still talking about Vader. Let me tell you, in L.A. Because I was the bad man from Bell, let me tell you. Well, you know what? You know, and I'm going to be honest with you. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed punk. That's what he is. I used to steal lunch money from punks like him in high school. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. I do not like the way he conducts his business. He talks about himself being the man, 11 world titles in 20 plus years of professional wrestling. Now that's quite a feat, isn't it? I mean, we all got to, you know, you got to call it like you see it. If you see a bear over in the woods, you say, hey, there's a bear over in the woods, brother. But listen to me. In 8 years of professional wrestling, count them 8, I've got 12 world titles on 4 continents, and in 1990, I held 3 world titles simultaneously. Those 3 things alone is something no wrestler, alive or dead, has ever done. So what's all the hoopla about 11 world titles in 20 plus years? Because, brother, you're looking at the man. And as Ric Flair says, you know, he's the man and he's this and he's that. Well, let me tell you something. He's not the man. He's just the man that knows the man. Because you're looking at it, brother. A bit. You know what, Greg? I walk that aisle every night. Myself and Mr. Rich, we walk that aisle, and we don't. And I'll be quite frank with you. We don't give a damn whether the people like us or dislike us. I do not fight for the people to smile at me and applaud at me. I fight to win. I fight to survive. And that's another reason why these guys like Flair are punks. Because they walk out waving and smiling and kissing babies. And we all know it's a bunch of bull. You couldn't pay me enough money to act like that.
Well, the follow-up is the man sitting right here beside me has with him going down the aisle a person that knows Ric Flair better than Ric Flair knows himself. And when we walk down that aisle to Thunder Cage, he will know him as well, if not better than I do. And when we hit Thunder Cage, there'll only be 2 people enter and 1 person leave. And Ric Flair, you have avoided it. You tried to weasel out. You even had your wife and your baby. Had another man take a beating for you. But you're still there because this man said you'd be there. You're there. Now, when it's over, when he's standing over you and you're looking up at 450 plus pounds, you're going to say, please take this gold buckle and just go away because you are the man.
How about that, huh, Greg? Oh, brother. Hey, man. All right. Okay, brother. I know it's hurting you, though, ain't it? I got you. You was going to do me. I got you back. No, man, it's me. I like it. It makes me mean and brings out what I really am inside, and that's a mean, bad man. But hey, let me sum this up real quick for you. You know, the man did, like Mr. Ray said, he tried to weasel out of this fight. He tried to get it postponed because he claimed he was injured. I told him that Vader waits for no man, and we are going to have this match. You, your family, had better grow eyes in the back of your head. Now, Ricky Steamboat nearly got beat half to death before Ric Flair would stand up and be accounted for. Well, guess what? The fight is on, and it's time to put a dime in a jukebox, brother, because we're going to rock and roll. And the Super Bowl, we're going to find out just who the man is. And when I get done kicking his butt all over that arena, that's right, you're going to know who the man is, because he's sitting right here in front of you. Thank you, baby.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Who are we talking to?
Yeah.
Fred?
Huh?
We can't hear you, Fred. Okay.
Yeah, Fred, we hear you now. Fred, you're going to have to talk up because I can barely hear you. Can you hear me, baby?
No, I can barely hear him.
If we hear Fred half as well as we hear you, it'd be great.
Yeah, we hear you good. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. Yes. Yeah.
Rock and roll,
Shoot.
Fred. Wait a minute, are you a fan? Are you a fan of Ric Flair's? I gotta know that before we start. All right, good.
How about Dick the Bruiser? Yeah. We'll die, buddy.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Anytime you are.
What's the mask? Hey, where does the 500-pound gorilla sleep? Well, anywhere he wants to, and that's why I wear this mask, and I don't have to explain to you or nobody why I want to wear it. Hey, you know what? The man ought to take a look in the mirror. He parades his family around. He parades his little kids around. His baby boy, his baby girl, his mama, his papa, and in a tearful eye. In front of millions of people on national TV, the punk is hugging and kissing them, saying, oh my God, I gotta go fight Vader, trying to encourage sympathy. He's a punk. He's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed punk. People just like I used to steal lunch money from in high school. I don't like him. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. And I don't like the way he conducts his business. That's right. Get in the picture.
Well, I think I'm in there. Just about anybody on earth looks like a midget next to the man. I was the man myself as many times virtually as Ric Flair was, and I know Ric Flair better than anyone else on the face of this earth. And I know who the man is. I've been up and down that aisle more times than most people walk back and forth across the street. And I get out of the way of the man, because sitting next to me is one of the most incredible athletes
That's right,
that's
baby.
ever come along.
Fred, are you listening?
There's only a Michael Jackson
Are you
every
listening
now
to
and
this,
then.
Fred? Are you listening
There's
to this?
only
Your phone. Hello? Hey, wait a minute.
Well, let me tell Mr. Flair this. I'll finish the conversation off by, I was capable of beating Ric Flair. This man right here is capable of beating any man at any given moment, anywhere on earth, and Thunder Cage will be the end of Flair. Two men walk in, one man walks out. This man walks out with the gold.
Hey, Nitch, your boy, are you listening? You hung up on him. Uh-huh. I'm happy because I'm going to get ready to whoop Ric Flair's butt all around that Super Brawl ring.
It's kind of hard to keep a man like Vader any way other than the way Vader wants to be.
Hey, Fred, listen to me one time. What's all the hoopla about 11 world titles? What's all the hoopla about 11 world titles in 20 plus years of wrestling? Hey, you got to call it like you see it. If you see a bear over in the woods, you say, hey, there's a bear over in the woods. And you got to give the man credit where credit's due. No, let me finish this. Now, in 8 years of professional wrestling, the man, that's right, 6'5", 452 pounds of the man has held 12 world titles on 4 different continents. And in 1990, I held 3 world titles on 3 different continents. Not Ric Flair, not any wrestler, alive or dead, has ever accomplished so much in so little. Now, what's all the talk? Now, Ric Flair, let me tell you something. You ain't the man, brother. You're just the man that knows the man. And in Super Brawl, we're going to get ready to prove that once and for all. Because I stood up and I was accounted for at Starrcade. You wanted a title match, you demanded a title match, I gave it to you. And then at the Clash, by the grace of the WCW officials, I was granted the opportunity to team up with Rick Rude against yourself, Nature Boy, and the Stinger. And I got the job done because once again you were carried out of the arena. You couldn't continue, brother. And then what happened? Like the rat punk you are, you wanted to postpone this entire Super Brawl event. And it took me beating Ricky Steamboat nearly half to death before you could stand up and be the man you're supposed to be. Well, guess what? Yeah, well, guess what? Vader said the match was going to go on. I told Rick to grow eyes in the back of his head. I told his friends they weren't safe. And guess what? The match is on. Because Vader is tired of Ric Flair manipulating WCW as he's been doing for the last 20 years. Because that era is over. Vader's the man now. Vader dictates the tone. I control the action. I'm the boss. And it's as simple as that. And when I get done kicking this man's butt in the ring, Fred, I'm going to call you back up, and we're going to have this conversation one more time. And then you're going to tell me, that's right, baby. Do I look like I'm going soft on you? Hey, listen, when I get done whooping this man's butt in the ring at Super Brawl, let me tell you what, Fred, we can have this conversation again, and I'll tell you, you're going to know who the man is. Because I'm not only going after that world title, but I'm getting Vader's revenge, and that's what this is all about. If Flair walks out of that arena, no chance, no chance. Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. He's got to pay homage to the man this time. He's got to go down. He's got to pay homage. Because it's time to put a dime in the jukebox, baby, and let's rock and roll, because the bulletin's coming at you. That's right. Hey, thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Fred, thank you very much.
When you're the man, let the man do the talking.
Fred, hey, was it all right? Thanks, all right.
Hello. Yeah, I got you, Dan.
Hey Dan, how you doing? This is Vader. Good, sir. How are you? How's the weather? How's the weather down there? Yeah. Well, we really feel bad for you. It's about 10 degrees here and snowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, well, guys, wait a minute, Dan. You guys ready? We got a crew talking. We need to shut the door so we can hear you. And we got a lot of noise in your background, Dan. Okay, so you gotta speak up then, boss. Okay. That's right, you got that correct. I was 11 pounds, 8 ounces, and I was a preemie baby. I was 1 month and 1 week premature. So, yeah, you might say I was a big baby. I'm on that seafood diet. I eat everything I see.
That's a given.
That's a given. You got me laughing now, Dan. Dan, it's quite simple. The season for miracles is over. And that's what happened December 27th at Starrcade. We all saw what happened. If you watched the fight, you saw what happened. A man nearly got beat half to death. His 2 front teeth were knocked out. His jaw was broken. His nose was broken. His eye was shut. You know, and he styled and profiled up that aisle, but he walked back down that aisle like the boy he is. And I'm going to tell you something truthfully from the heart, man. I don't like the man. I don't like the way he does his business. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. He talks about himself being the man. Well, guess what, Dan? He's not the man. He's just the man that knows the man. And that's quite simple. Hey, Dan, I got to ask you a question. What's all this, what's all this hoopla about 11 world titles in 20 plus years of Ric Flair's career? What's all the hoopla? The WCW, the World of Wrestling, is about ready to bronze a statue of the man and put it up in Town Square, downtown Atlanta. Now, in 8 years of professional wrestling, on 4 different continents, I have held 12 different world titles. Let's count them. That's in 8 years of professional. And I might add, that's after being a 2-time All-American at the University of Colorado and playing in the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. And at one point in my professional career, I'm the only man in history to hold 3 world titles simultaneously on 3 different continents. So what's all the hoopla? I mean, football's a team sport, one of the greatest team sports on the face of the earth, and in my opinion, the greatest team sport on the face of the earth. I was proud to be part of football. I was proud to be part of the University of Colorado, and extremely proud to be part of the Los Angeles Rams organization and representing them in their only Super Bowl. So yeah, football is a big part of what I am, what I used to be. But wrestling, brother, there's nobody to depend on. It's let's put a dime in a jukebox and let's rock and roll, because you got one person to depend on, and that's yourself. There's a gin of the people standing beside you to support you, to pat you on your backside and say, hey, let's get going. Because you gotta dig it out from up here or from here, and you gotta get the job done all on your own. It's time to take a look in the mirror and turn it on. Well, it's quite simple, Dan. Obviously I don't like the man. And again, the season for miracles is over. We do have a plan at Super Bowl, and the plan is revenge. And I'm going to let my manager, Harley, tell you all about that.
Dan, it's very simple. I know Ric Flair probably better than anyone else on earth. Probably even better than he knows himself. And as we walk down that aisle, headed toward the ring, Flair is going to know in his own mind that everything I know, Vader will know by then better than me. There has been only one person since I have been in professional wrestling that I would truthfully say that I would, just want of a better word, just could not get in the ring. That's the man sitting right here, because that's how good he is. Flair, you know how good I am, and I know how good you are, but I know how much better Vader is than either one of us ever will.
You know, Dan, I gotta be real honest with you. I left the skiing sport about 150 pounds ago, and haven't followed it much. And I'm sorry I can't respond, but that's the truth of that one. Sir, I am interested, and I sure hope USA does well, but I really am not knowledgeable sitting here before you to comment on it. Yeah. We just, be honest with you, Dan, we've been on the road so much I haven't had time. We wrestle every night, and we just quite simply haven't had time to watch. Well, Dan, it's, for me,
he's only been doing it 8 years right now, Dan, so he's got a long, long career ahead of him if he chooses to do it. But by the time he's put in another 8, if he decides to put in 8, he'll be a Michael Jackson. He'll be able to compete in anything or do anything he wants to do, because the name of this game is the cash that you make. This man right here is at the top of the game. I don't care what sport you're talking about. And getting back to your thing about the Olympics, I kind of enjoy that Hardy, the other one, Kerrigan story. It kind of fits the Vader Flair syndrome. That would be the only way that Flair would ever stand a chance in Thundercade, is to hire someone to come into the ring for him.
Well, Dan, the bottom line is this: Super Bowl. We've got a job to do, and that's the first thing, is to win the world title back. Rick, I stood up for Rick. Rick, the man of the world title shot at Starrcade. I stood up like the man I am, and I gave him the world title shot. And I got to be real honest with you, Dan. I don't like the man. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he looks. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed punk. We used to steal lunch money from punks like him in high school. And then the WCW, by whatever grace they deemed me, they gave me the opportunity to step into the ring with Ric Flair at the Clash. And the man was injured again. He could not leave the ring under his own power. Next thing we know, he's crying to the WCW, trying to manipulate them, as he's done his entire career, trying to postpone Super Bowl. Well, I told him he better grow eyes in the back of his head, and I told his friends they better do the same thing. After beating his friend, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, nearly half to death, he finally, in a teary-eyed interview, stood up and said he would fight and represent himself at Super Bowl for the world title. So this is something he didn't want to do. He was forced into doing it. He didn't want to get into a steel cage with Vader at 6'5", 452 pounds. Because let me tell you something, brother, there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. And at 6'5", 452 pounds, I am the most powerful wrestler in the world today. And I'm not talking about strength. strength and a dime won't buy me a cup of coffee, Dan. Power is the ability to move your body from point A to point B and deliver a blow. Mike Tyson, he cannot bench press, probably 200 pounds, 250 pounds. But in my opinion, the man at one time was the most powerful man in the world. His ability to move his body and deliver a blow and knock someone down and knock someone out, that's power. And that's what I can do at 452 pounds, better than any man alive today. The most powerful wrestler in the world today. And when I get done kicking Ric Flair's butt all over the arena at Super Brawl, you're going to know that, the world's going to know that, and we're all going to know who the man is. Because there certainly isn't Ric Flair. He's not the man. He's just the man that knows the man. Or better yet, has to face the man. Dan, down in West Palm Beach, we want to thank you. Enjoy that weather.
Thanks, guy.
Rick, this is Vader. How you doing, guy?
How am I? This Harley race over here, are you hearing me? Can you hear us now, Rick?
Hello, Rick. Can you hear us, Rick, now? Okay.
All right.
Good,
Fine,
Rick.
are you? Then there are countless number of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good barber.
Hotter. Excuse me? What'd you say? What did you say? Hey, well, Rick, let me tell you something, and let me tell your buddy Ric Flair something. You sound like a punk just like him. You know what? I don't like Ric Flair. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he walks. We used to steal lunch money from punks like him, blonde hair, blue-eyed, pretty white teeth, walking around trying to make everyone like them. We used to steal lunch money from punks like him and you in high school. And I don't appreciate you or anybody mentioning the word fat on TV. you're looking at 452 pounds of the most agile, mobile, powerful wrestler in the world today. Brother, I put more people out of wrestling through agility and movement. And let me explain to you exactly what I mean about power. Okay? Strength is somebody who takes a bunch of chemicals and gets in the gym and lifts 10 hours a day. Well, that ain't what Vader's all about. No, he don't do that. Power is the ability to move your body from point A to point B and deliver a blow and knock someone on their butt or knock them unconscious. That's why I was a two-time All-American at the University of Colorado. That's why I was a first-round draft pick to the Los Angeles Rams. And that's why I represented the Rams in the Super Bowl. And that's why, my friend Rick, in 8 years of professional wrestling, I'm the only wrestler alive today that has held 12 world titles on 4 different continents. And in 1990, I held 3 world titles simultaneously. Now, your great friend Ric Flair, obviously, has held 11 world titles in 20 plus years. Can you see the difference, my friend? Do I have to spell it out? Now, Christmas miracles happen. The season for miracles is over. Starrcade is over. I nearly beat the man half to death. His jaw was broke, his teeth were knocked out, and his nose was broke. He couldn't breathe, walk, talk, or see. He styled and profiled down that aisle, but he crawled back like the boy that he is, didn't he? That's exactly right. Now, it's time to get down to reality, my friend. It's time to get a little revenge. It's time to get in the cage where there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. That's what it's all about. Super Brawl. Because he's got to get in the ring with the man, and he's not man enough to stand toe-to-toe. Now, we all know world titles are won and lost. That's a fact of wrestling. That's a fact of life. After 12 of them, I know that better than any wrestler alive today. Now, Ric Flair's turn coming up. Let's see. Let's see if you're talking this same garbage and Ric Flair's talking this same garbage when this is all over, my friend. Because he's not the man. No. He's just the man that knows the man. Well, if you're listening to me, I just told you I'm the most powerful wrestler in the world today, and I just explained that. I can move 452 pounds across the ring, and I can deliver a blow better than any wrestler has ever done it. Now, if you don't believe me, you talk to guys like Sting, when I broke his ribs and his sternum and put him out of the wrestling game for 6 months. You talk to guys like Joe Thurman, when I broke his back. You talk to guys Ron Simmons, the 3-time All-American from Florida State, when I dislocated his shoulder. I ran Nikita Koloff out of the wrestling business. You talk to people like Sid Vicious, 6'9", 325-pounder. Where's he? I splashed him with this big body, as you put it earlier, and busted his insides up. Now, where's he? I've got more trophies on my wall, more careers on my wall than any other wrestler that ever has. Yeah, I wrestle tenaciously. I wrestle with power. I wrestle with smart, and I wrestle with a great deal of ability. That and say what exactly? If you don't, and I'm talking to the public, is that right? In Birmingham. Birmingham, Alabama, Vader has got something to say to you. Y'all better turn in to Rick's Hall of Shame, or Vader's coming down there looking... Damn, my hat. Excuse me. No. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it one more time. Ah, damn. Birmingham, Alabama, you got the bullet for Vader himself live and in color, brother. Now let me talk to you. You gotta tune into Rick's Hall of Shame, or Vader's gonna come down there looking for you and give you the power bomb before he is the master of the power bomb. Tune in, Rick's Hall of Shame. Yeah. Hey, Rick, listen to me, man. We take what we do very seriously, okay? I made 7 figures doing this last year, and you don't call someone fat till the shit on TV, okay? No, I'm serious. You don't do it, then don't ever do it to me again. Well, but I didn't appreciate that, okay? Well, all right. Bullshit. Yeah, we're rich. Well, what's all the hoopla about the 11-time champion? You fed right into me, Rich. I mean, this man has been wrestling over 20 years, and yes, he's accomplished 11 world titles in that period of time. You've got to call it like you see it. That's quite a feat. That's quite a job. If there's a bear over in the woods, you got to say, hey, brother, there's a bear over in the woods. You got to call it like you see it, right? Now, listen to me, listen closely. In 8 years of professional wrestling, Vader has held 12 world titles on 4 different continents. And in 1990, simultaneously, I held 3 world titles, something no wrestler has ever done before me, and never done, and will never do after me. So you tell me, what's all the hoopla about 11 world titles? No, that's right. I don't got no respect for the man because I don't like him. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he conducts his business. I don't like the way he parades his family in front of millions of people trying to garner sympathy. I do not like the way he does business. It took me and Mr. Race nearly to beat his best friend, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, nearly half to death before he'd step up and be accounted for like a man and fight me in Super Bowl like the contract stated. Because like the punk he is, he was trying to weasel out of it and postpone the fight. No, I don't like him. You know what? Punks like him, I used to steal lunch money from punks like him in high school. No, I don't like the guy, I don't like the way he looks, and I don't respect him. Well, let me tell you something. Right here and now, in that cage, brother, he's got to look at 6'5", 452 pounds of the most powerful wrestler alive. And myself and my manager, we constructed that cage. That's right. I was there and we welded it. We know all about that cage. And guess what? There's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide. And Mr. Race is going to tell you what we got in store. The 10-time world champion right here, the legendary Harley Race, is going to tell you about what we're going to do to that punk, blonde-haired, blue-eyed sissy.
It's going to be whatever Vader decides at that point in time, and just how intense he is when he decides to take Flair out. No human being on the face of this earth knows Ric Flair better than Harley Race.
That's right.
I have wrestled this man countless numbers of times. I've beaten him myself. He's beaten me. But I'll guarantee you this, the man sitting immediately to my left is capable of beating any man on the face of this earth at any given moment. And Thunder Cage, Mr. Flair, will be the last night people will have an opportunity to watch you walk the aisle, because they're going to carry you back from Thunder Cage while he walks out with the gold, because this is the man. Even Andre the Giant, as big as he was and as agile as he was, is not the man sitting next to me. I've never met an athlete, whether it be in baseball, football, or any other sport, that is as big, as agile, and as powerful as Vader is. He can move 452 pounds from point A to point B quicker than most sprinters can move in a short distance. And at the end of that short distance, he's got 452 pounds to pound you with.
Okay. Is it your flashback, Rich? Can I plug? You want me to plug you in? Just the man says, watch that flashback. Okay. Can I ad lib just a little bit? Okay. Washington D.C. live and in color. You got the man here, Vader, and the man's got something to tell you. Watch that flashback. Oh yeah. Is this on? This gonna be on or not? Go for it. Will, rock and roll, brother. Tape's rolling. Listen, I don't talk about the man's age, and he don't talk about a few things about me. You know what? If it's his birthday, so be it. Vader don't give a damn. I got one thing for him, though, and that's blood, sweat, and tears. It's time for him to pay homage to the man. It's time for Vader's revenge, and that happens at Super Brawl. It's quite that. It's just that simple. Well, it's all about that greenback, ain't it, brother? I mean, you know, I got to eat too. It costs me a whole lot more money to eat than it does you in a day. I mean, I got a wife and kid, and I want the same things for my family that you want for your family, and that everybody wants for their family. And through the grace of God Almighty, He's graced me with the size, the strength, the power, and the ability to do what I'm doing, sitting before you now and in the ring. And I've done it, and I have to say this. You know, people tell me I'm the greatest big man in the history of the sport. If that's the case, so be it. But in 12 world titles, in just a short 8 years of my career, that makes me also one of the best, because no wrestler, alive or dead, has ever accomplished that feat. 12 world titles on 4 different continents in 8 years of professional wrestling. It's simply never been done. It's wrestling history. Well, the greatest influence of my wrestling career is sitting right directly to my left, and that's Harley Race, the legendary 8-time world champion, NWA champion, and around the world, because we count world titles, around the world. The man has held 10 world titles on 3 different continents himself. He is perhaps the greatest wrestler to have ever stepped into the square circle. And when you talk about strategy, you talk about getting the job done. This man has done it better than anybody, and a whole hell of a lot better than that punk sissy Ric Flair. Right here's the man, and I'm proud to be sitting next to him, and what an asset he is to me walking through the ring night in and night out. So yeah, you're looking at him right there, and that answer is answered. That question is answered. Well, he was ugly when he walked in the ring, but he was real ugly when he walked out, wasn't he? I mean, we broke his nose. We put 17 stitches above the eye, about 14 below the eye, knocked out some teeth. We dislocated his jaw, knocked him out with the power bomb on the cement, thanks to the man here. But I think it was about 8 months before he stepped in the ring again, wasn't it? And you know what? I'm not out here to permanently injure nobody, but I tell you what, he wasn't out there swinging pedals at me either, okay? And the bottom line is, I don't go to the ring looking for the fans' approval, trying to get some cheers. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn. I go out there to win. I go out there to survive at any means necessary, and that's the bottom line. Well, I believe in my career, again, in 8 years, proving what I've proven. I believe I've got to go down at this point, if I quit tomorrow, as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Certainly one that has accomplished a great deal in a short period of time. I've wrestled and beat everybody I've ever wrestled. I'm not saying they have never beat me, because to say you're unbeatable, that means you're not human. But I do believe this, I am unstoppable. There's no man that's ever gotten in the ring that has been able to stop me. Now, world titles are won and world titles are lost. And wrestling matches are won and lost. That's a fact of life. That's a fact of the wrestling business. But, no man has ever been able to stop me. And that's also a fact.
Let me interject here. I picked a premier time in wrestling to retire. Sitting here with Vader today was, excuse the expression, a hell of a lot better than what it would have had to have been to walk in the ring to face this man head up. Because head up, one-on-one, there's not a comparison with this athlete to any other athlete in any other sport in the world today. He's the Michael Jackson of entertainment personified. He's the Michael Jordan of basketball. Michael Jordan couldn't shine his shoes if he decided to play basketball.
Oh.
Cut back on those taxes.
Bill! Bill! Mr. Clinton, our lives are in your hands. Take care of us, brother, and cut the taxes, because you're killing me. You're killing me. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Hey, we had fun. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Impressive, and you only want to. Paul, let him pull back just a minute and see if you like that better. If not, we can close it back in. Excuse me, man. See where the neck and the shoulders come out? Okay, you want... Okay, go ahead, brother. It's your call. I was just trying to help. Okay. Thank you for the interview. We appreciate it, okay? Well, Paul, let me look at you in the eye and tell you something. Where does a 500-pound gorilla sleep? Huh? Answer that question. Where does a 500-pound gorilla sleep? And that'll tell you why I wear the mask. The 500-pound gorilla sleeps where he wants to. And Vader wears the mask because he wants to. It's as simple as that. No explanations. I like it. That's why I wear it. I like it. I hope that's enough. All right, baby, let's rock and roll. Let's talk wrestling, super brawl. Hop, hop. Hey, listen to me, baby. I am, without a doubt today, the most powerful wrestler in the world today. And the Philadelphia Eagles, let me talk to all you punks. You need a shot in the arm? Call up Vader. That's right. I'll come and give you a hand, and we can rock and roll. And you think I'm kidding? Put up or shut up. Stepped in and squared circle with Vader. That's right. I'm challenging each and every one of you. Get in the squared circle with Vader, and if you are man enough to do that, I'll put on a helmet and get across the line from you. Live and in color, right here on television. Let's rock and roll, baby. Yeah. Go for it, go for it. The best in sports television. You let me try. Let me try here. Let's see. Philadelphia! Yeah, live and in color. You got the man in wrestling. Vader, the name. And in Philadelphia, it's the fellas is the game. No, no good. Okay, no, well, it's the fellows. Okay. Philadelphia! Yeah, baby! Live and in color. You got the man Vader, and in wrestling, there is the man Vader, and then there is all the rest. And in sports television, there is simply one and only, and that's the fellas. Nope. You know I didn't like that either. One more time. One more time. One more time here. Okay, that's anything.
I don't know.
Yeah, man, sure. Philadelphia, we're live and in color, and it's time to put a dime in the jukebox and rock and roll. Now in wrestling, there is the best, and that's the man Vader, and then there's all the rest. And in sports television, let's face it, there's the fellas, and there's nobody else. All right, man, I could have done that better. I hope that works. I'll try one more. I got the first part that time. Other side. Inside. Philadelphia! Live and in color. It's time to rock and roll. In wrestling, you got the man, you got the king of the world, and you're looking at him. That's Vader. Now in sports television, in Philadelphia, you got the fellas. And let's face it, it don't get any better than that. Yeah. That's it. That one sounded okay. Just take me 4 or 5 times. I'll get it. Shit, everything.
All right.
I hope you like that, Paul. Wait a minute. I'm just coughing. This is our 13th one in the Go for it.